This is your News Source Evening Bulletin for today, Friday, the 15th day of November in the year 2019. Here is what we're tracking tonight. The Guyana Police Force will be stepping up patrols and traffic monitoring across the country as it prepares for the busy holiday season. The force unveiled its security plan for the upcoming festive season today. And according to the Police Commissioner Leslie James, the plan is as a result of careful strategizing and engagements on several issues with several stakeholders. He called on the business community today to also look at the security arrangements that they will be putting in place for their businesses and to see how those could be improved.
Mr. Govai is here, he can attest. I recall with our engagement with him, I did implore that business persons do also have a responsibility in preventing themselves becoming victims of crime. I did also say that if you have a particular business, your security apparatus should be commensurable with your stock. That is to say, if you have a stock of 200 million, correspondingly, your security apparatus should support that.
The Commissioner said the Guyana Police Force is capable of addressing security and other concerns that come with the busier shopping period for the year when there is also an influx of foreigners.
I've said very clearly when I was appointed as Commissioner, each crime that occurs is of concern to us. Each crime. It doesn't mean whenever someone is injured only. Whenever crime occurs, we are concerned.
And Traffic Chief Lyndon Owl said there will be zero tolerance on road lawlessness. He said persons should look out for more patrols and the enforcement of the traffic laws.
The crash trucks will be used for towing vehicles which are illegally parked. Wheel clamp will also be used. And when the vehicle is being towed away, it will attract a fee. Vehicle escorts will be provided where necessary. There will also be no diagonal parking, will be prohibited in and around Georgetown and its environs. Enforcement. Special focus will be placed on the following offenses. Driving under the influence of alcohol. This offense, we have seen an increase in fatalities with persons driving under the influence of alcohol. Almost 90% of our fatal accidents are caused by persons driving under the influence of alcohol and a combination of speeding. Radar guns will be used throughout the season, and we will also be looking at persons who are driving using the handheld device.
Today, the heads of the various police divisions put forward their own plans for the various communities across the country. Members of the public are being encouraged to work along with the police force as it enforces law and order for the holiday season. More news coming up in just a moment.
Enter the GBTI Quick Cash Christmas promotion and make it a Christmas to remember. You get up to $500,000 easy for anything you want this Christmas. Plus, enter for a chance to win fabulous items for your home. One complete 7-foot granite top base kitchen cabinet, one sectional suite, one 5-piece dinette set, and complimentary baskets of goodies. Apply at your nearest branch or online at www.gbtibank.com. GBTI, we see Christmas through your eyes.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up, fuel it up and drive, Super 95. Tune up. Protect your fuel system, boy. High mileage and performance, boy.
Guy Super 95 gasoline gives you more reasons to drive and is available at 56 service stations nationwide. For affordable price, high performance, and high mileage, choose Guy Super 95 gasoline.
Fuel it up and drive.
Guyana's largest petroleum summit and exhibition is set to take place on November 20th to 22nd at the Guyana Marriott Hotel. The second edition of the Guyana International Petroleum Exhibition, GPEX, will see participation from a range of local and international companies. The exhibition is open to members of the public on the 22nd of November from 9 a.m. to 5 p.m. The event is being organized by Valiant Business Media in partnership with the Department of Energy, Ministry of the Presidency, with support from the Ghana Office for Investment, Go Invest. GPEX 2019 in Guyana, the gateway to a golden future.
Welcome back. And turning now to the world of politics, the Alliance for Change today announced that next Monday will be the last day for the renegotiation talks with the Partnership for National Unity and the Cummingsburg Accord. Party Treasurer Dominic Gaskin at an AFC press conference this morning said one deadline has already been missed, and the Alliance for Change does not intend to extend the deadline beyond Monday. According to Mr. Gaskin, there is just one item remaining for the two sides to reach agreement on, and that has to do with the formula for the allocation of seats in the Parliament and on the regional councils, as well as ministerial portfolios.
This is a negotiation, and we are not going into the room saying this is what we want and there's no discussion. We are flexible, we are a mature political party. However, in any negotiation, you do get to a point when I think both sides realize that you can't go any further and it's useless to proceed. We are not at that point right now. We anticipate that there will be an agreement by Monday. However, we cannot wait. We've already missed a deadline. We have accepted another deadline, but in the meantime, we are getting ourselves, as Mr. Craig said, battle ready, and we are prepared if we cannot reach an acceptable agreement to move ahead alone with our campaign. It's an unlikely scenario, which is not our preferred scenario, but we have to be prepared to go alone if necessary.
The AFC official did not want to provide more details of the meetings with the APNU and the formula issue that they will be discussing on Monday. News source understands that the APNU is pushing for a 70-30 formula in seats allocation, while the AFC, which initially wanted the original 60-40 formula to remain, is now pushing for a 63-37 formula. In all of the scenarios, the APNU walks away with a larger number of seats. Mr. Gaskin said the negotiation will continue on Monday, and he's confident that an agreement will be reached to move the partnership forward.
We anticipate that there will be an agreement by Monday. However, we cannot wait. We've already missed a deadline. We have accepted another deadline, but in the meantime, we are getting ourselves, as Mr. Craig said, battle ready, and we are prepared if we cannot reach an acceptable agreement to move ahead alone with our campaign.
The Cummingsburg Accord is the agreement that brought the two parties together for the 2015 elections, which they won as a coalition. Deputy General Secretary of the AFC, Lennox Craig, said the Alliance for Change is getting into battle gear for the upcoming elections and prefers to head into those elections with its coalition partner, the APNU. He appeared confident that the one issue that is still to be worked out will be overcome on Monday.
I wish to let Guyana know that AFC is battle ready. We desire a partnership with the APNU. It is the preferred way to go in these elections, but we are battle ready, and with or without our partners, we are ready to go. And all of our plans are in place. We have a manifesto already prepared, which will then feed into a complete manifesto for the coalition, because after these negotiations on the Cummingsburg Accord are completed, then we have to meet with the APNU to hammer out a joint manifesto. But from where the AFC sits, we are clear about what our manifesto will contain.
Mr. Craig noted that the AFC has already completed a manifesto and will be opening new offices for the elections across the country. The Alliance for Change leaders said it is unlikely that they will be going without their coalition partner, but they will remain in preparation mode to also go it alone. Well, the chairman of the People's National Congress Reform Health Minister Walter Lawrence today said the APNU will not be negotiating with the AFC in the media. Lawrence, who has been heading the APNU's team in the Cummings-Berg renegotiation talks, told reporters this morning that issues are still being discussed, and it would not be wise at this stage to bring those discussions in the press and the public domain.
Well, I've read many articles. I've read articles where persons reported as though they're part of the negotiating team. I don't know when they come to the meeting and when they leave, but I've never seen them. But I've noted that persons have been reporting in that manner. I will say to you that the negotiations are in place, and it is a negotiation. And at the end of that negotiation, both parties will be speaking on all the matters, I'm quite certain, with the full media.
The PNC chairperson said she has been very guarded about the negotiations and believes that discussing too many issues related to those negotiations in the media could compromise the talks.
You don't negotiate in the press or in the public. You don't do that. A negotiation is based on trust. It is based on confidentiality, because it's not we have 4 marbles, you take 3 and I take 6. It's a discussion. And at the end of that discussion, the parties, the responsible persons, will come out and speak to whatever is agreed upon.
And Minister Lawrence brushed aside claims that the two sides have already agreed on a prime ministerial candidate, reiterating that she will not discuss the issues in the press as the negotiations are ongoing. Well, Director General of the Ministry of the Presidency, Joe Harmon, believes that the opposition leader Barrett Jagdeo is trying once again to get a backdoor entry to the presidency. At his press conference yesterday, Mr. Harmon was asked about a recent statement by the PPP Civic candidate for the presidency, Irfan Ali, who said he intends to make Mr. Jagdeo his vice president if he is elected to office. Jagdeo is a former president of Guyana and is constitutionally barred from serving as president again after completing 2 terms in office. Harmon said he is not surprised by Ali's statement since it fits the Jagdeo plan.
They're testing the waters, I would say. They're testing the patience of the Guyanese people and their tolerance for lawlessness, because clearly there's a decision of the Caribbean Court of Justice that says this gentleman cannot be president or prime minister. And so putting him as vice president, when the president gone, he acts as president. It's really getting it through the back door.
The opposition leader, for his part, has said that he has not given any thought to the statement of his presidential candidate, since it is only a desire of the candidate for him to be the vice president.
Well, first of all, it's not a torture. So we never discussed this. I think this is his expression, his desire, and right now I'm not looking for. I made it clear that I will be part of the next government. I want to be part of the next government.
Jagdeo has made it clear that once the PPP is elected to government, he will be serving as a senior functionary in the administration. He has also made it clear that many of his plans will be followed by an Ali presidency. Let's tell you now that as Guyana steps up preparations for the start of oil production, President David Granger, who has oversight for the Energy Department, met yesterday with a team from the Inter-American Development Bank. The meeting focused on the strengthening and capacity building of the Energy Department. The President was accompanied by Minister of State Don Hastings-Williams, Minister of Finance Winston Jordan, and the Director of the Department of Energy Dr. Mark Bino. The IDB team was led by Country Representative Ms. Sophie McKinnon. The President, in his address to the team, said Guyana must be prepared in the shortest possible time for the coming of first oil. He stressed that it is incumbent upon the government to make decisions that are best for the sector and the country. Mr. Granger said the meeting is an important step in the country's need to make decisions and build capacity, since it gives an idea of what must be done. The President also said the IDB has been most helpful in that regard. In December 2018, Guyana signed an agreement with the IDB for an $11.64 million policy-based loan. The project is designed to support the strengthening and the sustainability of the energy sector in Guyana by contributing to the institutional development of oil and gas governance and the development of cleaner energy sources for electricity generation. The specific objectives of the loan program were to develop a management and planning framework for Guyana's oil and gas sector, and in the second instance to contribute towards the development of a policy framework that Guyana may diversify its electricity generation matrix using cleaner or renewable sources. In the mining sector right now, the more than 500 employees at Troy Resources Mining will know their fate about their jobs on Sunday, when the company is set to present its case to its board about the situation with the Guyana operations. Company officials are concerned that the company is not as profitable as it should be, and that is worrying. Additionally, there are also concerns about mechanical and other technical problems that have been ongoing at some of the mining sites. The company's CEO, Kem Nielsen, told reporters on Thursday that Troy Resources has been operating at a loss, and it's now up to the board of the company to make a definite decision about the Guyana operations.
We will have to do something, okay? And that's very simple. We are currently operating under with a system that allows us to stand people down for business reasons or commercial reasons. Right? It is actually better to go into the background of that, but anyway, that has a timeline to run, and that timeline runs out next week. So before then, we have to have something to go out and say this is how we plan to go ahead.
The CEO explained also that following a recent cease work order by the government, which was eventually recalled, the company has found it more difficult, as more than 300 workers were asked to leave the mining site as the company scaled down its operations.
It's everything, let's go back exactly the way we were, or do it in a more focused manner, or do nothing. Those are the three options. I said do nothing is not a particularly good one. Because at the moment, with the work we're doing now, it's costing us about up to towards $40,000 a day, and nobody can survive spending that money every day without having an income. So it's fairly obvious that we can't do that. So.
The chief executive officer noted that the company must become profitable if it is to survive. The cease work order that was issued was as a result of a mining accident that left a young geologist dead. In the courts, 2 weeks after he was sentenced to 22 years in jail over the rape of a 6-year-old girl, former Linden resident Selwyn Lancaster has appealed the case. The sentence was handed down by Justice Simone Morris Ramlal. The man's attorney is appealing the sentence on the grounds that the trial judge made an error in summing up the evidence to the jury. The attorney is also alleging that the judge misdirected the jury when she proposed to them that she will not read all of the evidence while summing up the case. Further, the attorney, Gordon Gilhouse, is also arguing that the judge's summing up was not balanced and was in favor of the prosecution. The Court of Appeal has yet to set a date for the matter. A 12-member jury, after deliberating for more than 2 hours, found Lancaster guilty of the 2 charges that he was facing in relation to the sexual assault of the young child. The convict claimed that the charges were trumped up against him because of a falling out he had with the child's mother. Across the Region is coming up next.
They've made a positive impact on the heavy-duty transportation industry in Guyana since they've arrived. Guyanese are amazed at their power, durability, efficiency, and superior handling capabilities. These are brand new trucks, manufactured in partnership with German, Italian, and French companies. They have a powerful reputation for operating under very adverse Guyanese conditions and come with full after-sales service and spare parts. They're the most sought-after trucks today, with over 500 units in Guyana, and they're available in over 100 countries, including South America and the Caribbean. Be smart. Buy brand new ST Howo trucks today. Call 608-4998 and arrange for an inspection at ST Truck Guyana Incorporated, Block B, Public Road, Covenant, East Bank, Demerara.
We are legions of men standing strong, but never too proud to stoop and help someone. We must send a clear signal to all. Do right. Walk in upright ways, knowing that's what being a man is all about. And ever aware that things will only get worse when good men do nothing. Stand strong. Be the one to live right.
There once was a man named Stan whose business needed a new plan. Christmas was coming, this much was true. He needed some help but didn't know what to do. Then fast as a flash, 3 helpers did come from Republic Bank. They came with some. One had low interest rates, one reduced equity, one with approval so quick and easy. Now Stan is the man and his business is booming. Christmas is good and he is winning. Reach more customers and boost your business with a Republic Small Business Loan today.
Tired of long lines? Register with MyGTT at mygtt.co.gy. That's mygtt.co.gy to view and pay your bills from anywhere. Enter to win an Amazon gift card worth $25 or a bounty voucher worth 5,000 Guyana dollars when you sign up today. GTT, do more.
Guyana, the moment you've been waiting for is here. It's the Ministry of Education's Guyana Teachers Union 59th National School Cycling, Swimming and Track and Field Championships on November 17th through 22. Come see top student athletes and teachers from 15 sporting districts compete in intense rivalry. Cycling at the National Park, Georgetown. Swimming at the National Aquatic Center, Liliendal, November 18. And on November 19 through 22, the Track and Field at the National Track and Field Center, Leonora. Action starts 9:30. The National Championships where stars are born. Powered by Malta Supreme, Hits and Jams Entertainment, and NCN.
Across the region right now, the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, Gaston Brown, and the Vice President of Costa Rica, Epsi Campbell-Barr, met earlier this week with the President of Kenya, Uhuru Kenyatta. The separate meetings with the visiting leaders focus on rejuvenating bilateral relations and deepening cooperation between Kenya and the Caribbean countries in several areas of mutual interest. At the meeting with the Vice President of Costa Rica, the two leaders agreed on the need for Kenya and Costa Rica to partner and work together in improving the lives of citizens of the two countries. At the meeting with the Prime Minister of Antigua and Barbuda, the two leaders resolved to upscale bilateral relations between Kenya and Antigua by establishing diplomatic missions in the two countries. Well, Chile has announced that it will hold a referendum on the country's constitution following weeks of anti-government protests. Protesters are demanding social reforms and a change to the constitution, which dates back to the pre-democracy era of the military leader Pinochet. The vote will take place in April. At least 20 people have died and about 1,000 have been injured in protests that started over a hike in subway fares. The agreement for peace and the new constitution was signed at midnight following long negotiations. It will also ask voters who think it should be replaced to choose between 3 different bodies to draw up a new constitution. The options are a body of fully elected representatives, political appointees, or an equal mix of both. And finally, tonight, international news. U.S. President Donald Trump's advisor Roger Stone has been convicted on 7 counts of lying to Congress, obstruction, and witness tampering. The court heard that he lied about his efforts to learn more about when WikiLeaks would publish damaging emails about Hillary Clinton back in 2016. The jury returned its verdict on day 2 of deliberations in Washington. Witness tampering carries a sentence of up to 20 years in jail. The other counts can carry 5 years each. The court heard that Stone lied in September 2017 during his testimony to the House of Representatives Intelligence Committee's inquiry into alleged Russian interference in the U.S. elections a year earlier. He was asked about WikiLeaks' release of damaging emails about Mrs. Clinton, President Donald Trump's Democratic rival, in the vote. After Friday's verdict, Mr. Trump claimed that Stone had been the victim of a double standard, arguing that the likes of Mrs. Clinton and former law enforcement and intelligence chiefs he has sparred with had also told lies. And that's your News Source Evening Bulletin for today and this week. I'm Gordon Mosley reporting.